right in front of the riprap.
All right, Randy's here. We're here to do some testing. So here's the bridge. That's where the shovelful was taken out of. We're gonna do a little testing right here.
We can only get so far with our sticks and shovel. I propose if they took a shovelful here of their backhoe, you would see massive amounts of rainbow toxic chemicals. Look how close we are to where they took that big shovelful and revealed all the chemicals. You'll see the backhoe in a second, and that's where we had Senator Vance watching as we showed him the chemicals. My alarm on my phone is going to go off in a minute and shut my camera off. So then it's going to switch to Randy's filming. I'm currently standing right by the area where the day before they tore the bridge down, I was poking the soil and massive amounts of chemicals were coming out. And I knew that when they knocked the bridge down, they would release all the chemicals. And that is when the fish kill happened. As many of you know, that's when the EPA came down the next day once Randy released his video and said they could find no chemicals. I had the paper they were quoted in, and I filmed as we walked through the creek, showing all the chemicals with their quote that they could find no evidence of chemicals. If you missed it, look at Fish Kill number 1, 2, and 3 videos about a month ago.
Wow, I see mine. Look at all these chemicals. Can you see, Randy?
I can see it. It's nuts. This whole section right here is always bad.
And look where this is.
Wow.
Look at these chemicals just pouring out. All right, well, I'm going to get some samples. Let's see that. Look around Randy's boots. Look at all this. Look at these chemicals. Get a little close-up shot. You'll really see when it goes into the jar. Possibly holding that. Okay, this is a water sample, number 1. If you can see those chemicals dissipating around the jar, and there they go into the jar. Try to get a little bubble on top. Look at those chemicals. Nothing to see here, folks. It's a little hard with such a big bottle. So we've got a preservative for volatile, not SVOCs, but VOCs. We're going to see if we still got benzene in this creek, in the sediment, and at what levels. We're going to use this core plunger. And I saw how to do it. This ground is a little hard. Let me get a little bit of ground up and then plunge the plunger into it, I think. Well, let me see how soft. Okay, I should be able to do it. Actually, kind of hate to do it with this hand because my hand's probably going to go in there because it's kind of deep.
It was at this point an alarm went off on my phone and shut my video off. So now we've got Randy's, which is really cool because it timestamps it in the viewer and it gives the coordinates as well, which the iPhone does as well, but it does it not on the screen. I don't know if there's an option to do that.
I mean, we got a plug in there, so I'm assuming that's good. Look at all these chemicals.
I know. They're just...
I'm going to seal this back up. And I'm going to invert it 4 or 5 times. Get the preservative in there. And then I want to get one sediment sample. Look at this crap. all the chemicals coming out. How the EPA can't find this down here, smell it? Or, well, they used the smell test, and that's about all the testing they did right here. But we're literally like 20 yards from the bridge. That'll do it.
These samples will be immediately put on ice in the cooler and sent to the lab.
Wow, look at that. Look at that chemical mess. Look where we are. We're right in the park. Look at these chemicals just coming out of the bank.
Don't let your kids play in or near the creeks, people. Do you all remember the Easter egg hunt sponsored by Norfolk Southern right down in the park in this area? It was just up on the hill there. Well, there were aerators, 24 of them, right in this creek, spewing mist into the air from the creek to stir up the chemicals or whoever knows what. I thought they got rid of the aerators because the EPA admitted that it didn't really do any good and it was bad for PR.
Look at all that. Alright, so apparently an alarm went off when I was taking the sediment sample, but that's great because Randy is also here testing, and he was filming with his camera too.
Get the sun in front of you.
Look at that. Look at these chemicals all on the surface of the creek. And don't forget where we are. There's the bridge right there. And there's the samples Randy and I just took. They're going to be shipped off FedEx first thing in the morning. Today's Sunday, October 15th. I'm going to presume, again, it's going to come up with high levels of benzene here. And we will see.
So you
Check this out.
You can see it.
Look at this.
Yeah.
How do they not see this? Or do they not want to see it?
As I scan the surface, look in the sun and watch how it turns the chemicals into
Time for the
rainbows.
sun come out too.
Alright, well, to recap, Randy and I just tested for FVOCs. Well, the one sediment sample didn't have preservative in it, and I may run SVOCs, but everybody's doing that. Last time, but I took a sample for the VOCs that came up with high levels of benzene. So we're 8, it's, I don't know what it is, the 15th?
Wow,
Wow, look at
15th,
those
yeah.
chemicals.
I know, like I said.
So we're going to see if they correspond with the EPA's, and maybe they will, so with their findings here at the remodeled bridge. But that's where we are, and it's still badly contaminated here. So it's in the bank and it's in the soil. If you take a, so earlier with a university student, I did undisturbed samples for her and then disturbed. So the undisturbed, I made sure to do it, have the bottle upstream for me so that I wasn't disturbing any water. And when you do that, sure, you might get really good results because you're just taking it from the top of the water. But I would not want to drink out of a glass with poison on the bottom and water on the top. So, you know, and you may say, well, you're not drinking creek water, but many of these people are on private wells here, and this stuff is just sinking deeper and deeper into the soil. And I think Randy would agree that when they took that 5-foot deep shovel out of right there, that's when they were really revealed. Some of the worst we've seen in the last 6 months, because they were able to dig deeper than we can with a little shovel. I think I'm done for the day.
It was just revealed in a document and admitted by Mark Durno to Randy DeHaven and Christina Seisloff in their private meeting last week that the reason they stopped the air knifing, which is shooting air into the creek as you walk along. Almost think of it as a pressure washer. The reason it was stopped early on was because the workers doing it became sick. And that should be on national news. That should have been revealed right away.